As a Colombian and as a proud member of President Uribe's cabinet, I am deeply disappointed with Vice President Gore's decision not to attend this important conference. Vice President Gore has been misinformed and misadvised. The allegations that have been recently made with the intention of questioning President Uribe's integrity are based on simple hearsay and innuendo. Last night, President Uribe addressed the Colombian nation through a press conference with the most important journalists, including those who have been most critical of him. During 2 hours, he answered every single question and cleared every single doubt that has been raised against him. This forum is not a political meeting. It is a forum to discuss the extremely important issues of climate change and the environment. President Uribe was invited to address these issues, and that he will. Notwithstanding this very unpleasant situation, he will be here this afternoon with you. I commend the organizers that were put in the very bizarre situation of choosing between the presence of Vice President Gore and the presence of President Uribe. They took a fair and a just decision. I would like to finally say that the fight against drug trafficking might be an option for the US. For Colombia, it is not an option. It is a matter of national survival. And let me be very clear. We will continue fighting and winning this war with the help of our closest allies or without it. In a moment, you will see one of the many reasons for this firm position. And so I invite you then to watch a brief visual document, and afterwards I will make a few remarks and conclusions.
The Amazon rainforest, responsible for 15% of the planet's oxygen supply, covers 40% of South America and 35% of Colombia. Due to all this, Colombia is among the top 10 of every biodiversity ranking in the world. However, all of this is threatened by the cocaine industry, run by the drug cartels, of which the FARC is the largest in the world. Out of the 86,000 hectares cultivated with coca today, 6,000 are distributed among 18 natural parks. The most afflicted provinces of the country are located along the Amazon rainforest. Other ecologically important areas heavily afflicted are the snow-capped Sierra of Santa Marta and the Colombian Massif. The cocaine production chain consists of 3 stages, each of them highly damaging to the environment. For every hectare slashed and burned, 380 tons of biomass are reduced to ash, cinders, and sediments. 100,000 hectares of forest are destroyed each year as a direct result of drug production, an area equal to half the size of New York City. Over the past 25 years, about 2.5 million hectares have been cleared out to produce coca, which is the equivalent of 2.7 times the size of Yellowstone National Park. Even though this trend has been slowing down by effective government policies in recent years, the damage has already been done. Due to the unsuitability of jungle soil for agricultural processes, and in order to maximize plant yields, Coca farmers use 10 times more agrochemicals than those used by farmers in legal crops. To save time and money, they mix most of the agrochemicals into a single batch for fumigation. Among them are those commonly known as the dirty dozen. These chemicals are alarming, not just because they resist biodegradation and are toxic. They are also highly mobile. Once released into the air, these can travel great distances through a process of multiple cycles of evaporation and condensation. This is sometimes called the grasshopper effect. When working with pesticides, coca farmers use no protection, exposing themselves to grave health risks. Supplies are stored in precarious conditions. In order to keep the chemicals cool and prevent their evaporation, farmers use non-airtight containers, put them into the rivers where they inevitably leak. The last stage takes place in specialized cocaine factories and is done by professional chemists. Most of these labs have been found near populated areas, some even in large cities. The chemicals required for this last stage include an even greater number of controlled and prohibited substances. Large quantities of toxic chemicals are distilled in order to reuse them, constantly dumping thousands of gallons of hot water back into rivers, thus increasing water temperature and altering the ecosystem. And when these chemicals can no longer be recycled, they are dumped unceremoniously into the rivers. Taking into account that the estimated cocaine production of Colombia is 640 metric tons, and 1 hectare produces an average of 7.7 kilograms of cocaine a year, the math shows just how devastating this entire production cycle can be. Now, and after so much destruction, the cocaine that will be consumed in the United States and Europe is ready to be trafficked. During the past 25 years, the international community has not been aware of the ecocide perpetrated on Colombia because of a global appetite for a supposedly clean drug. Many people ignore that Colombia's strategy against drug trafficking is also an effort to protect the environment, ultimately the most vital and long-lasting result of this policy, and as such, deserves the world's recognition and support.